Upwork is one of the biggest freelance platforms in the world, and right now, it is struggling. Revenue barely grew in the first quarter of 2026. Active clients are falling. The company just announced cuts affecting almost 1/4 of its workforce, and a business worth roughly $7.5 billion at its summer 2021 peak is worth barely more than $1 billion today. This was not bad luck. For a decade, Upwork kept inventing new ways to charge the freelancers who made the platform valuable. It raised commissions on small jobs. It sold tokens people needed to apply for work. It doubled the fee on some of its most loyal freelancers. Then it replaced a predictable commission with an algorithm that can charge different workers different rates. Upwork built one of the world's largest marketplaces for independent work. Then it treated the people inside that marketplace like an unlimited source of fees. Now growth has almost stopped. Artificial intelligence is crushing entry-level work, and Upwork is finally getting what it deserves. This is the rise and fall of Upwork. Remote work feels normal today, but in the early 2010s, hiring somebody through a laptop still felt slightly insane. A client in London could hire a developer in Manila without ever meeting them. The developer had to trust that the client would pay. The client had to trust that 10 build hours meant 10 hours of work, and not 2 hours of coding followed by 8 hours of aggressively moving the mouse. Elance and Odesk were built to solve that trust problem. The two companies merged in 2013 and relaunched as Upwork in 2015. The platform handled contracts and payments. Its work diary recorded activity and could capture screenshots as often as 6 times an hour. Intrusive, yes, but it gave freelancers evidence when clients challenged their hours and gave clients confidence that work was happening. Upwork placed itself between two people who did not trust each other and sold them trust. The original deal was easy to understand. Upwork brought the client, protected the payment, and took 10% from the freelancer. That was not cheap, but it was predictable. The freelancer earned money, Upwork earned money. Both sides wanted the same transaction to succeed. That alignment would not last. In May 2016, Upwork announced a new sliding fee. Instead of taking 10% from every contract, it would take 20% from the first $500 a freelancer earned with one client. The rate then fell to 10% until that client had paid $10,000. Only after crossing $10,000 did the fee fall to 5%. At first, the system sounded almost generous. Build a long relationship, and Upwork rewards you with a lower rate. There was just one tiny problem. Most freelance jobs are not $10,000 relationships. They are a logo, a landing page, a video edit, or one broken feature somebody needs fixed before Monday. Many freelancers never made enough from one client to escape the 20% tier. The discount existed. It was simply waiting behind $10,000. Upwork also introduced a 2.75% processing fee for clients. The freelancer now paid Upwork for earning money, and the client paid Upwork for paying it. The backlash came immediately. Forbes published a headline saying, "Upwork's pricing model sparks outcry." Upwork responded with the kind of corporate sentence produced after several meetings and one hostage negotiation. While it is never easy to make a big change like this, we decided it was time to take this step to make Upwork an even better place for professional freelancers and clients. Apparently, better had become a synonym for more expensive. To be fair, repeat clients create stable work and are better for freelancers than constantly hunting for another project. But charging 20% did not create long relationships. It just made short ones more expensive. Upwork kept growing. In October 2018, it went public. The shares were priced at $15, opened at $23, and closed the first trading day at $21.18. The entire offering was worth roughly $187 million. Upwork itself received about $100 million, with the rest tied to shares sold by existing stockholders. That distinction matters because the popular version of this story says Upwork raised the full $187 million. It did not. Still, the IPO was a major success. It also changed the pressure inside the company. Upwork now had public investors expecting revenue to grow every quarter. A fair marketplace was no longer enough. It had to become a growth machine. And in 2019, Upwork found a way to make money before a freelancer earned anything. Upwork calls them connects. They sound like points from a rewards program. They are actually tokens freelancers spend to apply for jobs. When paid connects launched in 2019, proposals cost between 1 and 6 connects. Each connect cost 15 cents. The basic plan had previously included 60 free connects every month. That allowance disappeared. Today, the basic plan provides 10. This changed the basic economics of looking for work. A freelancer could study a job post, tailor a proposal, attach work samples, spend the connects, and never receive a reply. The client might hire somebody else, hire nobody, or never open the proposal. The freelancer earned nothing, but Upwork had already sold the application. Imagine if Indeed charged you every time you pressed apply. Then imagine other applicants spending more tokens to push their application above yours. Now, Upwork did have a legitimate problem. Some clients received 50 to 100 proposals. Free applications encouraged generic spam. Adding friction could reduce spam and make serious proposals easier to find. But Upwork did not simply limit applications. It opened a token shop. Vice President of Product Jessica Tawari defended the change by saying, "I actually do not believe that this change will make it harder for new freelancers." Upwork said paid connects 10x would produce fewer proposals and improve each freelancer's odds. It predicted that most would spend about $5 or less per month. The company did not explain how it calculated that number. $5 sounds small inside a corporate announcement. It feels different when you have not earned your first dollar yet. Upwork had changed what it sold. It no longer made money only when work happened. It could make money from the attempt. Then the pandemic arrived and made Upwork look unstoppable. Companies were forced online. Millions of workers discovered remote work. Freelancing moved from the edge of the economy toward the center. Upwork's own research claimed large numbers of Americans entered freelancing. Take the precise percentages with salt. The revenue is harder to argue with. Upwork generated roughly $300 million in 2019, around $370 million the following year, and approximately $500 million by 2021. Its stock closed at an all-time high of $60.70 on July 13, 2021. For a while, every fee complaint looked irrelevant. Growth can hide almost any crack when the chart keeps moving up. But Upwork was still losing money. In 2022, it reported a net loss of $89.9 million. The pandemic boom was fading, profitability was becoming urgent, and Upwork already knew which group it could charge again. In 2023, Upwork announced that the sliding fee was going away. The company brought back a flat 10% commission. For somebody beginning a new $500 contract, this was genuinely good news. The fee fell from $100 to $50. For Upwork's most loyal freelancers, it did the opposite. These freelancers had spent years building relationships worth more than $10,000 and earned the old 5% tier. Under the new system, their rate doubled to 10%. The freelancer who had just arrived received a discount. The freelancer who had stayed, performed well, and brought a valuable client relationship onto the platform received a loyalty tax. Upwork called the new system simpler, and it was simpler. 5% became 10%. The platform also introduced a contract initiation fee of up to $4.95 for clients. It was not a devastating amount by itself. That was the pattern. Each charge looked survivable. Together, they made both sides feel as if they were being searched for loose change. Then, in May 2025, Upwork changed the commission again. The predictable 10% disappeared and was replaced by a variable fee between 0 and 15%. Upwork's pricing system considers factors like the freelancer's skill category, supply and demand, competition, project complexity, and history with that client. The freelancer sees the fee while preparing the proposal or offer. Once the contract begins, that percentage stays locked. This means two people approaching similar work can receive different rates from a system neither person can inspect. Upwork markets the possibility of 0% commission for certain high-demand skills. That sounds fantastic. But the system deciding who receives 0, 10, or 15% belongs entirely to Upwork. The company had replaced a commission with dynamic pricing for human labor. Freelancers were already managing clients, deadlines, taxes, competition, and irregular income. Now they could add guessing what the platform might charge to the list. By then, Upwork had a problem fees could not solve. The remote work explosion had normalized. Active clients were declining, and generative artificial intelligence was attacking the entry-level work that helped new freelancers build careers. Researchers from Imperial College London, Harvard Business School, and the German Institute for Economic Research studied the platform. Within about 8 months of ChatGPT's launch, job posts for the writing and coding work most exposed to automation had fallen about 21%. Upwork did not create that collapse. Artificial intelligence is not entirely bad for the company. AI-related work crossed $300 million at an annualized rate, and freelancers doing it earned more per hour. Upwork is also profitable now. That is the strongest argument against calling it dead. But the marketplace is shrinking in the places that once fed its growth. Upwork ended 2025 with roughly 785,000 active clients, down about 6%. In early 2026, active clients fell another 3% year over year. Revenue grew just 1%. Net income fell 17%. Then on May 7, 2026, Upwork announced cuts affecting about 150 employees, roughly 24% of its workforce. The platform built around the changing nature of work was now eliminating almost 1/4 of its own workers, and the stock market had already delivered its review. Upwork shares peaked at $60.70 in July 2021, valuing the company around $7.5 billion that summer. By the end of July 2026, its market value was around $1.1 billion. Roughly 85% gone. That decline was not caused by one fee change. The pandemic ended, interest rates changed, artificial intelligence damaged entire categories of work. But Upwork met every external threat with less loyalty than it could have had, because it had spent years teaching its users one lesson. Whenever the company needed more growth, the freelancer would receive another fee. Upwork is not collapsing because it charged people money. Marketplaces need fees. Payments, support, discovery, and protection are not free. Upwork's mistake was moving the moment it got paid earlier and earlier. First, it earned when the freelancer earned. Then it charged more on the freelancer's first dollars. Then it sold the application. Then it doubled the rate on loyal users. Then it let an algorithm choose the price. Upwork began by selling trust between strangers. Eventually, it started selling hope to people looking for work. Hope has excellent margins until people stop buying it, and Upwork is finally getting what it deserves.